Hey all, welcome to another episode of videos about fixing lights. Videos about fixing lights. Today we're looking at a Clay Paky Sharpy with a whole mess of errors. In our last video I talked a little bit about the data bus in these fixtures. Each motor driver board is connected to the main board and the other driver boards with a 4-wire cable. This bus carries all of the information the light needs to operate, and any interruptions will render the fixture pretty helpless. This fixture gives us errors right after calibration. Let's dive in. The bus uses yellow, white, red, and blue wires. When you've got bus problems, it never hurts to clean and reseat each of the connectors. Sometimes this will clear the issue up, but in our case, you can see that it didn't. Note that the green light on the 8-way board turns on after I start the test sequence. Let's dig a little deeper. The pan tilt board is located in the yoke, usually in the side opposite from the one I opened first. The pan tilt board is on a little hinge door. You loosen one captive Phillips screw to swing it out. We're going to start with a tool that's important to have if you're working on Clay Paky lights, a bus bypass device. As you can see, this is pretty simple. You could make one yourself if you wanted. What this does is allow us to bypass a board without having a disconnected bus. This can be useful for narrowing in on issues. Here, we'll bypass the pan tilt board and see if the 8-way board starts to behave. You can see the lights on the pan tilt board blinking because there's no bus connection. We have errors saying that board 0 is missing, which is what we expect. The test sequence seems to run okay. The 8-way motor driver board doesn't fail. Let's bypass that one and see what happens. And it dies. So maybe this is a bad pan tilt board. Let's replace it and see what happens. Since these boards go in a lot of different lights, the labels on the board are pretty generic. The pan stuff goes on the right, the tilt stuff goes on the left. If you're working on a BI, note that it has a 24-volt power supply, so you can't use the same pan tilt driver board as you use in the Sharpy. The Alpha series, the Sharpy, the Mythos, the Alpha Spots, etc., use a 12-volt DC power supply. If you put an Alpha pan tilt board in a BI, it'll explode. Okay, our new pan tilt board didn't work. Let's replace the 8-way just for kicks. This board is held in with little split pegs. You'll have to squeeze them to release it. The harness is helpfully labeled with these unshrunk heat shrink labels. Each board gets an address as well. Make a note of the address if you remove an old board. This is also documented in the spare parts finder documents available on the Clay Paky website. This board needs to be addressed as board 1. Let's see if that did it. Nope. Okay, next up, let's try a harness. I don't think this is the issue here, as this fixture has a pretty new harness in it, but I'll show it for the sake of the video. Take off these two little covers to get access to the pan tube. We'll disconnect the bus harness from the tilt board and just pull it gently out. You'll need to take this little fan off to get the new harness in place. Loosen these two captive screws and set it aside. Push the new harness end up through the pan tube with your finger until you can grab it from the top. Then sneak it past the pan motor. A little hooked pick can help with this. That didn't do it either. Well everyone, that's all I've got for today. Next time we'll dig deeper and see if we can figure out what's going on. These issues usually aren't so persistent. Thanks for watching.